Hello everyone, welcome back to Whisper of the Wind. Today we are going to continue with our series How to Build a Character Part 4. And in today's video we are going to look at something that is very important for you. So first of all, we have covered in our channel equipment, mythic skill, weapon skill, and now we are going to cover internal skill. So what's an internal skill? Basically in this game, to increase the power level of character, you need a thing called internal skill. So each character will be able to equip 4 internal skill, which will increase your overall character power by a lot. What do I mean by a lot? Let me show you. If I equip a internal without any level, my power level decreased by 351. So if I equip it with a max level, you will see it increasing. Okay, 2 by 350. Okay, if you use the gold internal, it will even increase more. Okay, so for example, now you see 500. Okay, now if I quit the internal, I get a 519. So for this game, there are a few categories for internal. Mainly, as I covered previously, your element. Okay, let's say the red, the blue, the green. Okay, and you will also see something which is a bit unique, which is the gray color. So what this gray color is basically general, meaning it don't belong to any sect. Okay, but for this game, okay, you will need some neutral internal to suit into your build. Okay, so basically you got a freedom to play around with all the internal, and it will help you in your passive skill. What do I mean by that? Okay, I will not go into a deep dive of the internal. I will briefly explain how it works. Basically, in all the internal, you will start off with level 1. Okay, you can see without any dots. This is level 1. Okay, let's start off with the general skill. This skill called 易水歌. Basically, it will be used in every single build because it's quite strong. Okay, so how strong it is? Basically, the internal for all skill will have a basic effect. So for this skill 易水歌, the basic effect is every hit or heal, you will get 100% chance to increase a stack of buff on yourself. Okay, so this is the effect. So when you level it up, the effect will increase. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So basically all the internal skill will have 6 level. Okay, and each level require more and more internal skill. So total, I believe you will need about 300 internal to max it. Okay, so how do it work? So basically for first level, every stack you will gain 2 damage penetration. Okay, this is the first level. Second level, your external, basically every skill, the second level will be a passive stat buff. So for this skill, is increased external damage. Okay, but for other skill, it might be increased accuracy, increased critical, or increased overpower. So basically, the second level is always a passive increase. The third level, when you get CC, crowd control, the stack doubles. And every stack, instead of 1% damage increase, it increased to 2%. So it can stack up to double, meaning 10 times instead of 5 times. So it will be a total of 20% additional damage if you get CC. Okay? The fourth level basically means that the chance of getting the buff increased to 100%, and the timing increased to 12 seconds. Okay, means longer buff and 100% chance to get a buff. The fifth, your critical, normally the fifth will also be a passive increase damage. For instance, for this it will be a crit hit increase by 4%. Okay, and the last one, which is the hardest to get, it will basically give you a very big buff. Okay, which is always also the strongest buff. So for this, what do I mean by that? Meaning for this, the every stack, okay, will give you an additional chance to do a single hit damage. Okay, and if you get CC, you can do an extra 2 single hit damage, okay, or healing, but every 10 seconds it can only occur 1 time. So it's a free damage for this skill. So you can see after the explanation, you will notice that this skill actually help in healing, tanking, DPS. Okay, it help a lot. So that's why every class will use this. So for internal, other than general use, you will normally have a primary and secondary internal, which will directly increase your primary skill and directly buff your secondary skill. Okay, so normally in a game, you will need to equip a primary skill and a secondary skill of the weapon skill you are using. Okay. Then next, there will also be secondary internal, meaning this internal doesn't really link to the primary and secondary skill, but it's still in the same element family. Okay. But however, this element family, right, it will indirectly increase the same family power in some way. What do I mean by that? Let's say if you are going for a tank build, okay? So for a tank build, this internal, the primary, will do certain thing that buff your primary weapon skill, okay, or change the way you deal damage or your rotation, okay. The secondary skill, it will do the same thing to your secondary skill, but because this is a tank set, so if you look at this skill, okay, is together with the tank set, but it don't do anything to your primary and secondary skill. What it do is basically when your HP drop to below 30%, you will activate a skill which will give you a shield. Okay, you notice it's a tanking skill. So every 4 seconds, the shield will last for 4 seconds. It will be a 30% HP buff skill. HP shield, I mean. Okay, so you see, this help in tanking. That's why it's in the tanking family. Okay, so in future I will do a deeper breakdown for all the internal skill, but for this video is mainly to let you know how it works. Okay, what internal give you. So now let's move on to the next thing. How do you get this box? So this box is a very important thing. Why? Because as you start your character, your objective is to get your first 4 internal to max level. Okay, after getting max level, then you can slow down, because the next few level you add, right, is basically allowing you to play other weapon skill without the needs of keep changing your internal skill. Because for internal skill, if you don't find if you don't want, let's say don't want to play this weapon skill set anymore, you can swap. Okay, how do you swap? Basically there is a skill swap system. So let's say I want to swap my tanking my current DPS skill to Nimbler Sword internal. So I just click here, okay, and I just select one more. I just click let's say Nimbler skill internal. Okay, so it allowed me to swap my internal to to the Nimbler skill set internal. But do take note, it must always be the same color, meaning a gold internal must swap with a gold internal. Okay, and each season you can use 10 times. After using the 10 times, you will need to pay for it using Jade coin. Okay, and the next thing you need to know is every time you swap, it will take 3-day cooldown for you to swap again with the same internal. Okay, so one more thing you need to take note of is if you are using a neutral internal, okay, let's say this, you will notice that when you swap it to, let's say, a Nimbler Sword set is a blue internal, instead of getting the max 400 internal, you are going to get 268 only. So if you swap a neutral to a class element internal, you will receive very little internal skill. So you need to take note of it. Okay, so next thing, how are you going to get all the books? Okay, the internal books. So basically in this game there are 2 ways of getting it. First is a repeated way to get it. Second is the one time getting it. Okay, let's start off with the weekly. So in weekly, you can get it from a weekly shop by participating in various event or dungeon. You get this coin, and you can simply just exchange 20 for free 20 internal. Okay, you see, once you get a book, you open, it's a random, so you randomly get 20 internal. Okay, as you progress your weekly, you progress until you collect this coin, 10,000 of it, you can purchase another 20. So every week you purchase 40 for free, basically using the weekly currency. Okay, this is the first one, repeatable. Second, your energy. Over here, boss fight, you are going to get internal skill for every 60 energy. Okay, so you use 60 energy to open the chest and you get 3. Okay, there is also a versus AI, but you get 2 instead of 3 per 60 energy. So you use an AI to help you fight, you get lesser. If you play with real human, you get more. Okay, next, okay, the next one will be your tower event. Okay, there is an activity button over here, there will be a game which allow you to defeat certain monster and climb out to 10 level. Okay, the monster will be harder and harder and harder. Okay, so this will give you a reward. Okay, and you can actually purchase the rewards from the shop. Okay, so you see, for now I got 5 currency from the tower event, so I can buy internal from here every week. 2 plus 3, 5, total 5 every week from your tower challenge. Okay, the next thing, your sign-in bonus. So every week, every day, in fact, you are going to get a sign-in bonus from over here. You see, every day. So when you sign in, you get 5 over here, 3 day, 6 day will be at 2, then so on and so forth. You can get some internal here. All these are monthly repeatable. Okay, you see when it lasts for 1 whole month. Okay, so by signing in every day, you get some internal skill. So all these are repeatable. Okay, next we are going to go through where do you get all the one-time internal. Okay, so in this game, there is about 1000 internal skill that you can get. Okay, and I'm going to go through every place that you can get. So for beginner, once you complete the first arc, okay, you will access to this place. Okay, sorry, due to the building system, mine might look a bit different from yours. Okay, but there's an NPC over here. So your jade point, do not spend on anything for the first 5000 jade point, or in fact more than 5000, because you are going to get the most important skill just now, the skill I mentioned, the general skill from this NPC. You'll need a total of 5000, so I recommend you to get this immediately when you start the game. Okay, store all your jade point, get this 10. Okay, this is the first NPC that get it. Second, you are going to come over here. Okay, there's an NPC I believe in this town. Okay, so this is the second most important NPC. You need to complete almost until the Act 2, which is this city. Once you are here, you can get a total of about 140 internal from all this using jade point. Okay, that's why I say don't anyhow spend your jade point, get all these internal first. Okay, next there is also an NPC over here that give you internal skills. Okay, I believe it's over here. Yes. Okay, it gives you about 20. Okay, you can come here and collect it. Next, I believe the rest will be in the new city. Okay, once you unlock the new expansion, there's an NPC over here that sell internal over here. Okay, this NPC I believe give you 20, and lastly over here there's also an NPC that sell internal. This NPC will give you I think 30 in total, 10 10 10. Okay, so these are the internal you can get from NPC. Okay, next will be the weekly tower challenge. So for tower challenge, you are going to get a lot of internal. Okay, but do remember all this is one-time base. Okay, so from here you click on rewards, you can see that you are going to get some reward from the point you get, but the one time will be here. So let's say as you progress, you clear from level 1 to level 10, you are actually going to get all the internal for this class, this skill set. Okay, if you clear everything, I believe you can get around 200 internal skill. Okay, so the next one will be the all challenge. So what is all challenge? You come over here, you click this button over here, and you come here. You can see every skill set there will be a challenge. Okay, and you can complete the challenge 30 times. So the challenge include things like leveling the weapon skill to max level, or leveling the internal for the relevant skill to max level. Okay, then you slowly unlock or require you to use certain skill on certain boss. Okay, for this challenge, every skill set you are going to get 5 plus 5 10. Okay, and from the individual skill set, after you get a 10, it also accumulate into the combined seasonal challenge. Okay, and you can see it give you a lot of internal, 20 per. Okay, so 20 for 30 challenge complete. another 20 for 40, another 20 for 50. So on and so forth. Add together, I believe you will get a total of 380 internal from all these boxes. Okay, so next will be the past boss challenge. So what do I mean by that? So in the dungeon, every boss you clear, okay, you are going to get a first clear rewards. Okay, you will only get it. You will only get it for the first time you clear it, and it gives you a bit of internal. Okay. Next, will be the world boss first kill. So every time you first kill the world boss, you are going to get some internal. Okay. The world boss is spread into all the different places. You will need to find it yourself. Maybe in the future I will create a video for that. Okay, and the last one will be the food store and the chest. Okay, so what do you mean by food and chest? In this game, when you play the game, you are going to encounter a food store, and you are going to get intimacy level with the food store, meaning you are going to be good friend with those food store vendor, and they will give you internal. Okay, I believe there is a food store vendor over here. Yes, you can see this icon. It should appear in your map. I cleared it, that's why it don't appear in my map. So when you talk to it, okay, you can get 2 internal. Okay, there are total of about 23 food store. Okay, each giving you 2 internal. So how do you get the intimacy level? Basically, you just go into the store, okay, and you just buy off all the item, all her dishes, and as the more you buy, the more intimacy you get. Okay, buy until you hit max. Okay, so 23 food store will give you 2 each, total of 46. And finally, chess. So in this game, you will also have some NPC that play chess. Okay, I think there are a total of 12 chess player, and those chess player also give you something like this. So when you beat them or lose to them, you get some intimacy, and when you get it to max, it also give you 2. Okay, a total of I think 24 internal from the chess. So total from food and chess, you get 70 internal. Okay, so all this way is to get your internal ASAP as soon as possible. Okay, by getting the 1000 one-time internal, I believe you will hit almost max level for your internal. Okay, the next thing in internal exchange. Internal exchange is the most important thing for you. Okay, what do I mean by that? Because you are going to get a majority of your internal through this exchange system. So how it works? So in this game, when you get an internal, okay, you are going to break it down and use it for your okay, see the internal here, you can click this button to break it down. Okay, and you can break every internal you don't need. Okay, it will give you this currency. Okay, if you don't want to come here to break down your internal, you can also press the H button, go to your internal window and click over here, the second one. Okay, you can break down from here, clicking here. You can one shot select everything automatically, and if you don't want to break down certain internal, you just lock it or unlock it by clicking it and clicking the lock. Okay, so let's say all these internal I don't use, I break down, I get this currency. Okay, so what do I do with this currency? Okay, when you start, there is a one-time purchase, okay, for all the different skill, total of 600. So once you purchase your element, okay, 600 of it, you will empty it out, and after that every week you can only get 600 random internal. Okay, so for the once you max it out, you get a 600 random internal. You'll try to max it by max your internal by emptying this 600 every week. So how do you do that? Basically, for now my currency allowed me to buy 157 internal, so I will buy it. Okay, I will go from this internal, I will choose the internal element I want. So let's say for example, I am going to play this internal set, the tanking set. Okay, I will choose this tanking set and I will max it out and I press accept. So I will get 100 over internal, and the good internal will always be my red element. Okay, so these two I lock means I need it. Okay, then after that, what do I do by that? I need to break down all the internal I don't want, okay, and repeat the process. Okay, so I believe now I'm collecting this. I got 99, and this I got 100. So I break down everything. Okay, I get a receipt. Then I buy another 100. Okay, so now I'm going to use it on this. Let me double check. Okay, this is the correct one. Max. Okay, I get some more internal. Then I repeat the process. I break down again. Okay, maybe I don't need this anymore. I unlock it, unlock it, unlock it, and I break everything that I don't need. Okay, then after that I continue the process. I buy 126. Okay, max it. Now I got a few more. Okay, and I repeat the process until I finish using all my 600. Okay, now I left with 214. So these two I keep and I sell again, and I buy again. Okay, now I finish my cap. Okay, then I can level out my internal. Okay, you see, now I require 100 to break through to level 5. So now I'm at level 6, so you will need 200. Okay, so the number will keep increasing based on how many internal you have. Okay, okay, we have come to the end of the video. I hope the information helped you a lot, and when you start the game, your internal will be the most important thing to level. So we'll try to max it out as soon as possible. Then after that you can slow down.